Last week on the Year in Review, you saw a list of all the games that I learned to play in 2014. You may have noticed that some of them were not actually released in 2014, but in years previous. Well, that's because there is a gigantic backlog of games that I don't know how to play. What? I know, right? But since this is 2014 in review, we'll just stick to this year's crop of new releases. And if your favorite game of 2014 wasn't on my list, trust me, it's on my list of games to learn for 2015. Because the Game Guru's job is never done. Thanks to my iPad app version, I've played well over 100 games of Star Realms in the last couple of months. Great little two-player deck builder that plays like a mashup of Magic, the Cerberus engine games, and Ascension. A lot more interactivity than most deck builders have, and awesome science fiction theme with great-looking spaceships. Tragedy Looper from Z-Man Games certainly takes the prize for most original game. Do I like it? I think so. Is it a good game for the cafe here at Snakes? No. It is a campaign-style game, so you need to play progressive adventures through it, so it's not really going to work for us. But it is definitely a cool game to try. If you like Groundhog Day the movie, but felt that it needed more suicides and murders, then Tragedy Looper is probably a game for you. Now, the first time I played, I did find myself screaming, "Time travel's a bad idea," the whole time. So if you're in that camp, maybe it's not your game, but it's definitely worth looking at. Pandemic: The Cure is Matt Leacock's dice-based take on his masterpiece, Pandemic. Now, it's much more challenging than original Pandemic. I have yet to win a game of The Cure. One thing that the dice version does is it eliminates the alpha player problem, because of the random factor of the dice, there is no one right choice to make. Therefore, Captain Alpha can shut the heck up and stop telling you exactly what you should be doing on your turn, because he doesn't know, and neither do you. It's a tough one. I have yet to save the world. Richard Garfield and Yellow return with King of New York, a sequel slash reboot slash expandalone version of King of Tokyo. Now, one of the big detractions that King of Tokyo had for people was that it was just dice rolling, it was just random, there wasn't a lot of strategy. But King of New York fixes that. It's never going to be Twilight Struggle, but it does give you a lot more strategic choices to make. Yellow gets another entry on this list with the third in their series of Tales and Games. It's the Hare and the Tortoise. Now, I learned this the first time at about 3 in the morning during our 3rd annual Catanathon Against Cancer, and apparently I got some of the rules wrong, but after learning how to play properly, I actually liked our house rules more than the basic way to play the game. It is a racing and gambling game, so it teaches kids how to bet on races. Excellent. Dead of Winter from Plaid Hat Games is certainly going to be on a lot of people's best of for 2014 lists, but it's also going to not be on some people's lists, and I get it. I've played the game 3 times now, and I really do enjoy it. I love what the Crossroads cards do to the game, but I understand how some people may not dig the game as much as I do. It is definitely enhanced by a play group that is prepared to put some narrative and some role-playing into the game experience. If you're simply on it for the rules, I can see how you'd find it a little bit lacking. But if you like zombies and you like paranoia, try Dead of Winter. Now, for my favorite game. Unfortunately, my favorite game is not available yet. We had the privilege of being some of the judges for the FallCon Canadian Game Design of the Year contest. And one of the games that we tried in that contest was Disordered Dinosaurs by Yves Tourny, I hope I said that right, and Al Leduc. Fantastic physical game, set collection game. It did not end up winning the prize for that contest, but I really hope that it does find a publisher and gets produced in 2015. It's definitely worth looking for. Well, that's it for 2014 in review. We hope that you got to play as many games as I did. Don't forget to leave us a comment telling us what your favorite game of 2014 is, now that you know what mine was. Also, remember to send your questions, if you have any for us, to asksnakes@snakesandlattes.com. In the new year, we're going to be introducing a new video series called How to Snakes, where we provide advice for those people who may want to get into the ever-growing field of board game cafe entrepreneurship. So from everyone here at Snakes and Lattes, have a happy new year, and may your victory points be plentiful.